5 hours ago. Tony Khan said it's Wednesday. You know what that means. Wednesday night Dynamite tonight on TBS. You stepped up for us last week. Thank you for your support. We had a huge debut on TBS, and we're back tonight with big matches, big moments, and maybe a surprise for you. So, I don't know. I haven't heard anything on it. I don't think it's going to be anything massive. I'm not expecting anything massive. I'm thinking it might be like Brody King. It might be like the Briscoes. I don't think this is the arrival of Wyndham. But yes, we are going to be getting a surprise tonight. I think he will definitely deliver. I don't think he's going to say that and then not give us anything. So I think almost certainly there will be something tonight. What we do have tonight that is confirmed is we do have some very interesting matches. Tonight we've got CM Punk taking on Wardlow. We've got Hikaru Shida taking on Serena Deeb. We've got Sammy Guevara taking on Daniel Garcia. We've got Powerhouse Hobbs taking on Dante Martin. I'm really intrigued by CM Punk against Wardlow. I'm really quite excited about that because I don't quite know which way it's going to go. I 100% do not expect it to be clean. 100% I'm expecting that to have like a screwy finish. I really think that CM Punk, Wardlow, both of them deserve to win. Both of them deserve to kind of get a clean victory. Like CM Punk, this match should be bigger. Like, this should feel bigger, to be honest. I don't think that the build for this has been big enough. It's kind of like the real focus is MJF CM Punk, and this has just kind of been thrown out there. But yeah, this feels kind of like a really big match. So I'm really looking forward to it. I don't quite know how it's going to go. I'm thinking it's going to be a good contest and MJF interferes, something along those lines, or Sean Spears interferes. Like, there's going to be some kind of outside interference. I don't see Wardlow getting a clean win because that's obviously not going to reflect very well on CM Punk. If you can't beat Wardlow, then, why is he even fighting MJF? Like, MJF's meant to be, the leader of that little group. So if he can't beat Wardlow, then does he even deserve an opportunity at MJF? So I kind of think that, CM Punk clearly can't lose. But then can Wardlow lose? Why would Wardlow lose to CM Punk? Wardlow's been destroying absolutely everyone, powerbombing people, looking like an absolute monster. Are we just now going to feed him to CM Punk? Like, it's got to be outside interference. So I'm really interested in this match because, as I said, it's a very interesting one, and I feel that both people should win. I don't see Punk losing. I'll tell you what, I'm really cold. I'm trying to put my coat on whilst talking, and I'm not doing a good job of it. Punk should not beat Wardlow clean. Probably will be a DQ. MJF will get Punk DQ'd. Brody King had better show up tonight, says Minty. I think it'll be something like that. I think it'll be Brody King. I think it'll be the Briscoes. I think it'll be something along those lines. I don't think it'll be Wyndham. I mean, that would be huge, but why would you drop Wyndham on now? I kind of feel like Wyndham's something you bring at the next pay-per-view, like Revolution is where you would bring in Wyndham now. I don't know why you would drop him on the second TBS show. So I think it'll be something small for now. But who knows? Honestly, who knows? I've been surprised by AEW before, so I could easily be surprised again. Mitchell, hello, says, in all honesty, is there any chance, any way, we get AJ Styles versus Kenny in any capacity before AJ retires? Any fantasy booking on your end for it? Is there any way that we get that match? Well, there is, but he would have to leave WWE in order to do it. So, I mean, the only way I could see it happening is that, well, there's a few ways that I could see it happening. The first way would be that Vince sells WWE, someone like Disney buy it, or something along those lines, and then they're a bit more open to working with AEW or something. So that would be one way, but I don't see that happening, to be honest. I think that there's a lot of excitement around Vince potentially selling WWE. I just don't think he will. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't think he is going to be selling WWE. I mean, if someone makes an offer that he can't refuse, then maybe. But without knowing what's on the table, I honestly don't know. There's every chance that he's sending Nick Khan out to see what the numbers are like. But, I think it would have to be a number that Vince can't refuse. And even if that happens, the new owners would then have to be willing to work with AEW, and there'd be no guarantees that that would happen. So that's one way, but again, I don't see it. I think the more likely way is that AJ leaves WWE. So I could see AJ leaving WWE, letting his contract run down, retiring, whatever it might be, and then coming back or going over to AEW for a little run over there and just doing something over there. And then I could see him facing Omega and having a few matches over in AEW. I would think that's probably more likely. Obviously, the other one is that Kenny leaves AEW and joins WWE. I would say out of all of the options, that is the least likely. And other than that, I mean, well, I suppose the other one would be WWE and AEW working together, and I think that's about as likely as Kenny leaving AEW. So that one's right down there as well. So for me, the most logical way would be for AJ to leave WWE. But I don't know. I mean, could we see it? I'd give it a small percentage chance of that happening. I think as soon as AJ is done with wrestling, I think WWE are going to lock him down into like an ambassador role. I think they'll still want to keep him on the books because they'll know how important he would be to AEW. I think they know that he is someone that would really help move the dial. Kind of like how Daniel has been really good. Daniel might not have moved the dial, but he's definitely delivered, big segments, and he's generated a lot of excitement, and he's kind of kept that momentum going. I think Daniel Bryan has been a wonderful addition to the AEW roster, and again, you might look at his segments or you might look at the shows, and it's not like they're doing 2 million now or whatever. But, I think his impact on that company is undisputed. Let's put it that way. And I think AJ would be exactly the same. I think AJ wouldn't result in Dynamite getting 2 million now or whatever, but it would lock down a segment. It would keep the show strong. It would solidify the fan base, bring in a few more fans. It could bring in another 50,000, 100,000, something like that. Something that maybe doesn't quite show or doesn't quite look great on the numbers, but there is a bit of a bump. So it could be that he brings in a few people, but really what he does is he keeps the fan base happy, he solidifies things, the foundation gets stronger, and in fact, like, the shows get better. The quality of the matches improves, and it's just all great stuff, isn't it? More video games get sold, more figures get sold, more merch gets sold, more tickets get sold. Like, the impact on the business is greater than just ratings. So I think WWE would know that. And we were talking yesterday about this is why I think they've got Dominic on the show on WWE. I think they're showing Dominic to keep Ray happy, because they don't want Ray going to AEW, because Ray would do the exact same thing. Ray would also have that impact. And, again, this is where you're just starting to then move into, like, bigger numbers then. If Daniel's bringing 50,000, if CM Punk's bringing 50,000, if AJ brings 50,000, if Ray brings 50,000, then that's 200,000 extra fans. I mean, obviously, it's not going to work that way. It's not like every big wrestler's going to bring 50,000 fans with them of their fan base that weren't watching AEW anyway. Like, it's all going to cross over. It's all a big melting pot. It's all a lot messier than that. But you kind of get the general idea. You know, they might not all of a sudden take a show from 800,000 to 2 million, but they will just give it a little bump. And, you know, each big name will give it that little bump. And, WWE, I think, are very aware of that. They did not want to lose Bryan Danielson. Him going over was not part of the plan. And, I think AJ kind of falls into that bracket. NXT 2.0 is a joke. AJ Styles is not. I think AJ is comfortable where he is. He doesn't need to prove anything. He's happy with the WWE paycheck in his 40-plus years. I agree with that. I think, though, the option's there for him. If ever, he gets frustrated, or if ever, an offer comes in that's, going to turn his head, maybe catch his attention, there is that alternative now. We saw this last year as well. I mean, I remember, in I think was it 2020, it might even have been 2020. We were talking a lot on the watch-alongs about how the wrestlers have got the power right now, because I think there was a lot of the wrestlers using AEW to get better deals in WWE. And I can remember saying, wow, just what a time to be a wrestler, because you call up AEW and get a contract offer, you could go to Vince, show Vince that contract offer, and all of a sudden now, Vince was at his peak of desperately trying to lock down all of the wrestlers and make sure, kind of starve AEW. And I think that's why we got so many releases in 2021. I think we got so many releases in 2021 because Vince was not only tying down talent, but he was, I think, probably agreeing to some crazy contract numbers. And then all them flipping chickens came home to roost, didn't they? All of a sudden, Nick Khan looks at the wage bill and goes, holy flip, have you lost your mind? WWE have cut about 100 wrestlers and you don't even notice. So, well, I mean, you do. There's people that we've lost that, we're very sad about losing and feel for them and their livelihoods. But this isn't that conversation. The conversation is, do the shows feel thin? Does it feel like there's no wrestlers around anymore? No. There's wrestlers flipping everywhere. It was crazy. What Vince did in 2020 was, the cause of what we saw in 2021. So, I mean, AJ, just to go back to that point, I think I agree, is probably on a nice little contract, but it's a contract I don't think that WWE are going to begrudge him. I think they know the impact he would have, and he probably is sitting quite pretty at the moment. Wrestle with Andy, hello, said, Days, there's betting odds on Sky Bet for who will be the next AEW champion. MJF is the favourite. Who do you think will be next? I could see MJF, definitely. I could see MJF being in that conversation. I do think it'll be a heel, of course. So Hangman is champion at the moment. Doesn't seem like it's going to be Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson. Obviously, CM Punk, I wouldn't think it would be him because of the fact that he is a face. So, I've got to agree. I think MJF is quite logical. He is going into a feud with CM Punk now. I don't know if MJF will come out of this feud looking the stronger, looking like with a bit of momentum, and that will be what pushes him to the title. I'm really not sure. But, I've got to think MJF. The other people it could be, Cody. Cody, I think, could turn around and say, I hear the fans, they want me to have a title run. I'm going to go for it. So even though Cody has that clause that says he can't go for the title, I think this whole heel run that's happening at the moment, is he a heel? Is he not a heel? He did win the TNT title from Sammy on Christmas Day. It's a pretty heel move, isn't it? So I kind of think that Cody's in with a chance, but I would still say MJF is favourite. I do wonder about Miro as well, just because Miro has already held that mid-card title, where else is there for him to go? Like, I kind of feel that Miro needs to come back, have a feud, and then you could really put him in for a title shot. I think that Hangman would get the better of Miro, though. Even though Miro's a heel, I think. I think that he would be someone that... He would be like a King Kong Bundy. Like, if Hangman's Hulk Hogan, then Miro would be like King Kong Bundy at WrestleMania 2. He's just a good person to kind of, credible opponent to feed to the champion and make the champion look a bit bigger afterwards. So, I got to agree. I think MJF makes a lot of sense. Jungle Boy beats MJF, and then Cole beats Jungle Boy. Days, what legend do you think should have changed their look? What legend should have changed their look? Well, I mean, my first answer is, would they be a legend if they had a bad look? That's the first thing that comes to mind. Do you know what? There's no names that come to mind. I'm trying to think of a legend. So, like, straight away I go Roddy Piper, Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Triple H, Stone Cold, Rock, Jericho, Shawn Michaels, Kane. I don't know if I said Undertaker, John Cena, Roman. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm going down this list of names and they're all great. There's none of them looks that I would change. I mean, I think in order for you to be a legend, you have to have the look, don't you? Surely you have to have the look. It's a really good question, that is. It's a really good question. I suppose it's hard to go, like, what do you class as a legend? What do you class as a legend? Because then, I'm thinking, top of the tree. But, Mr. Perfect never won the WWE title. He's a legend. Jake the Snake never won the WWE title. He's a legend. I think Kamala's a legend. So, do you know what I mean? Andre's obviously a legend. It's a tricky one, that. It's a tricky one. I'll throw that over. George the Animal Steel. Nah. A big part of George the Animal Steel was the fact that he had the hairy back and, like, all of that, and he was a bit of a madman. And the green tongue, like, man, if you was to change that, you'd be taking away a lot of George's appeal. You'd be taking away a lot of what made him great. So I wouldn't change George the Animal Steel. I love that question. That's a great question. What legends look would you change? Do you know who I always found a bit bland, right? And honestly, at the moment, this is probably the best I can give you. Diamond Dallas Page. I always found Diamond Dallas Page to be just a bit bland. I never really found his look to be anything that really grabbed me. Like, he wasn't someone that I looked at and he wasn't like the most jacked of guys. I always remember his arms being a little bit underwhelming. Like, if you looked at his physique and his arms, he was always just, I don't know, he probably could have hit the gym a bit harder. Looks like he enjoyed a few drinks and whatnot, and maybe didn't enjoy the gym as much. I mean, he's always done yoga. Well, I don't know if he's always done yoga, but obviously he's known for his yoga. But I don't think, like, he's ever been, like, into weights and, like, proper big strength training and whatnot. But not only was his physique all right, could have been better, but just, like, his attire was a bit like, don't know. Yeah, Diamond Dallas Page is probably the first name I've come to that I've gone, maybe could have done something else. Right, let's click on this. Mitchell, shout out to you, dude. Dude, I freaking love DDP. He looked like an alley fighter. Did he? I think if I was going to have him as an alley fighter, I think I would give him a weapon and make him look like an alley fighter. Like, maybe he should have had, like, a crowbar or a pull cue or, I don't know. I don't know. Comparing him to, like, The Rock, Hogan, Cena, Roman Reigns. Like, and legit, DDP is, like, a massive legend. He is a legend. I mean, he is a former world champion and everything. And he's, you know, a lovely, lovely guy. Like, personality is amazing, but I think that his look is something that could have been improved. And that's probably the first name I've come to that's made me go, oh, I think you could have just tweaked his look and made it a bit better. It's a brilliant, honestly, I can't remember a question like that that's really made me stop the stream and really made me think like that. It's a brilliant question. Mitchell said, just a fun question. What's your favorite wrestling show theme song? Mine is Across the Nation from Raw a while ago. It's the Move to the Music one. Move to the music and the body do it. Theme songs for shows. Do you know, it's really weird. I haven't really got an attachment to any of them. I haven't really got an attachment to any of them. I don't really care for any of them. Trying to think. I remember Move to the Music. Again, I wasn't really grabbed by it. I remember the first Raw theme. That's the first one I remember. I wasn't really grabbed by it. I'm just going through now, like WCW Nitro and like some of the old Raws, some of the old NXTs as well. There were some all right NXT ones, but honestly, I don't think I'd even be able to name them. The Nickelback one for the old Raw was cool, says Moldy. Either that or the Papa Roach one. Yeah, it's a good one to throw out to the chat. Again, see what the chat can come up with. Some fun questions, tough questions today. I think that one, though, to be perfectly truthful, I don't have an answer because I've never really cared for, like, the entrance songs, or there's never been one that's really grabbed me that I've loved. I mean, like, when it comes to entrance music, I mean, that's for some reason different, but like entrance songs, it's not really bothered. I do love some of the old like pay-per-view theme ones. You know, like the da-na-na-na-na, 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 dun dun da-na-na-na-na, bum, da-na-na-na-na, like that one, that old theme. Was that Royal Rumble? That was amazing. Like some of them old, I've got a feeling it might have been used for SummerSlam as well, like an old SummerSlam. Da na 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 na, da da da, da na 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 na, da da da. That was an old like WrestleMania one, I think. Like those old themes I absolutely love because that's just from watching VHSs like over and over again and just hearing those kind of like really simple, like I think they're Jim Johnston themes that he did for like Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, like from the 90s. Flipping love them. But like, yeah, it's weird. Like the TV show ones, I'm just not that bothered by. Let the bodies hit the floor, said Crip. I'd go with the Raw one that was around in 06-07. Kevin said, are you still safe from coronavirus? Am I still safe? Well, I don't know if anyone's safe, but yeah, I mean, I am literally just, I live a self-isolating life. I don't mingle with the public, so there's not really many chances for me to catch it. James Chadwick said, Days, Mr. Perfect, Jake the Snake not being WWE champions are absolute travesties. Yep. Apparently Jake was meant to work a program with Warrior when Warrior was champion. Don't know that he was going to win the belt. but apparently that was the plan, was that he was going to start doing a program with Warrior. And then Warrior famously at SummerSlam said that he wouldn't wrestle unless he got given $250,000 and like held Vince up for like more money. And as a result of that, he obviously got fired. And apparently, like years later, he had to go up to like at the Hall of Fame. He bumped into Jake Snake and actually apologized because he says, like, you know, I know that like cost you a lot of money. Because back in the day, I don't know if it works that way now, but back in the day, if you was at the top of the card and you was working the main event program, you got like a bit of extra money, quite a substantial little bump in money as well. Like the guys in the main events were pretty much the guys that were bringing the people in through the door. So like all the locker room would like thank the main event guys for helping to draw the house. And it was very much seen that way, that it like people come out to see the main event. Again, it's not really that way anymore now. I think it's more seen as like, this is the show, this is the card. But back then, it was kind of like the main event guys were seen as the reason as to why a show did well or didn't do well. It was a double-edged sword, because if you was champion and tickets weren't selling, then it was your fault. But equally, if you was champion and tickets sold well, then you was amazing. So I mean that cost Jake quite a bit of money. That did. Mitchell says, one more from me. My idea is that AEW has interim TNT champions because they're going to merge the titles and make a TBS championship. Thoughts? They're going to merge what titles? They've got a TBS title. They've got a women's TBS title. Are you saying that they're going to merge the interim TNT and the TNT and make a men's TBS? Do we not? So we don't get any TNT title now? I mean, in a way it makes sense because the bigger show is on TBS, but there is still Rampage that's on TNT. So you would think they would still have a TNT title that would potentially be defended there. It does make sense, though. It doesn't really make much sense to have the TNT title when your show is now on TBS. So it does make sense if that's the plan. I must say I haven't heard that news, but it does make sense. Days, imagine if WWE and AEW had a good relationship, and at Survivor Series, instead of Raw SmackDown, we had WWE versus AEW. What did Philip say? What is your excitement level? What's your excitement level for this show? Probably about 5. Truthfully, I mean, like, it's a Dynamite. I'm excited for CM Punk Wardlow. I feel like it's going to be a DQ finish, and then to be honest, the rest of the matches I'm not really bothered about. The four matches. So, wow, actually, I've just seen Hikaru Shida against Serena Deeb. I do like that. I'm a big fan of Serena Deeb, so I do like that one. But like Sammy Guevara against Daniel Garcia, not bothered. Powerhouse Hobbs against Dante Martin, I'm not bothered. And I think that's all that's been announced. So CM Punk Wardlow, I'm down for that. Hikaru Shida, Serena Deeb, I'm down for that. And then the other matches I'm not really that bothered by. So of what's been announced, I'm about 50-50. And then Tony did say there'd be a surprise, but to be perfectly truthful, and it might upset some people, if it's Brody King, I ain't gonna care. If it's the Briscoes, I ain't gonna care, right? I don't watch Ring of Honor. So if these people come in, like, to me, these people should be quite easy for AEW to get. Like, they're the second biggest promotion. Really, it should be hard for them to get people from WWE. But for them to get people from, like, Ring of Honor, like, that should be surely a step up. Do you know what I mean? Like, this should be a step up for Brody King, a step up for the Briscoes. Like, the exposure that AEW would give you is way greater than what you would get in Ring of Honor. So if they've gone and got Brody King or gone and got the Briscoes or gone and got, I don't know, flipping Grisham or whoever else is in like Ring of Honor. I wouldn't really see that as like an achievement. I wouldn't really see that as like oh my God, wow, how did they do that? Like, I kind of think, yeah, that's like just like the next natural step, really. If anything, Ring of Honor could be a really good kind of developmental, no disrespect, to AEW. You know, like people go there, cut their teeth, they, you know, get a bit of buzz, bit of excitement, and then they go on to AEW. And we have seen that with NWA. I mean, Thunder Rosa came from NWA. Ricky Starks came from NWA. We've seen a few that have come out of NWA. Eddie Kingston, but Kingston's obviously been around in other promotions as well, so I don't know if we can claim Eddie Kingston. But Ring of Honor could do that when it returns. I'm surprised that, well, I mean, maybe Tony's got some sort of, you know, I'd imagine Tony's reached out and spoke to them and has at least made some kind of contact. So, yeah, I'm expecting some Ring of Honor people to come in. Impact seem to be doing something there as well. But to be honest, I think the superstars are, like, just available. I don't think right now, like, I think Ring of Honor's on, like, hiatus. So if you do have any Ring of Honor stars, I don't think it's really an agreement with Ring of Honor. I think it's more maybe an agreement with the talent individually. So some have gone to Impact, but maybe some will go to AEW as well. But as I said, you know, if they have done that, cool. There's going to be people that are excited. I'd look forward to seeing them, but it's not going to be a surprise that I'm going to necessarily lose my mind over. But, so yeah, probably about 50-50 on this one today. But we'll see how it goes. High hopes. When is the Royal Rumble? A few weeks' time. Yeah, I think it's like literally... Is it... what day is it today? Wednesday. Is it a week? Is it not this weekend, the weekend after? Oh, it better not be the same weekend as UFC 270. Let's have a look. We're getting to some big shows, aren't we? UFC 270 is Saturday the 22nd. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Oh. Whew. Right. Whew. So, we've got UFC coming back this weekend, but it's not, well, I would say it's small, but it's fight night, so it's not a pay-per-view. So we've got UFC this weekend. Next weekend, it's the pay-per-view, and in fact, it's Giga Chikadze. That's going to be quite a big one. Chikadze's got, like, really good following. So, Chikagian, Jennifer Maya, Brandon Royval. There's a few names here, actually, for this weekend. I haven't had a chance to look at this weekend's card yet. I'm just looking at it now. How many fights we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? 10 fights this weekend. I thought there'd be more than that, actually. 10 fights is what we've got for this weekend on UFC. And looking forward to it. And then, oh man, the week after, flip. The week after, the heavyweight championship on the line. Just the UFC heavyweight championship of the world. Francis Ngannou takes on Cyril Gane. Ngannou, the heavyweight champion. Cyril Gane, the interim champion. This is the same championship that Brock Lesnar held. Francis Ngannou is the champion right now. Cyril Gane is 10-0 undefeated. And he is going to try and see if he can become the man. So that's our main event for UFC 270. And then the flyweight championship on the line. Brandon Moreno against Davison Figueiredo. They fought twice. The first fight was legit a fight of the year contender for 2020. They fought again in 2021, and Brandon Moreno won, became the new champion. Now they fight again. It's going to be so good. That is going to be amazing. So 2 title fights on that. So yeah, that looks amazing. So we've got a couple of big weekends of UFC, and then the week after we got the Royal Rumble. The problem I've got is I don't think I can do the Royal Rumble and UFC, but thankfully UFC card. But
I'm still pretty gutted about the fact that I'm going to... Actually, there might be a week off. It might be a week off. I might be saved. It might be Royal Rumble and no UFC that weekend, so I might be saved. It might be that we've got UFC 270, Royal Rumble, and then UFC again, and UFC actually take a week off when it's Royal Rumble weekend, so that would be amazing if so. And actually not that far away from UFC 271 either, so much going on at the moment. It's been a bit quiet over Christmas, but things are starting to bubble up again. It's very good. Right, let's try and read some comments. We've got 25 minutes. Cactus says WWE is going to cut Corey Graves after 4 months. My dream scenario is Wyndham signs with Impact, and given WWE is borrowing Mickie James, they also have The Fiend come back at the Rumble, and after that, Impact and AEW continue to work with each other. Boy said, Days, what's better, Hangman Bryan 1 or 2? Also, Penta versus Matt Hardy tonight. Hangman Bryan 2 for me, 100%. Impact Hard to Kill was decent, says Cactus. I want to see Mayor Kane in the Rumble, says Mark. Chicken Nugs said, Days, who do you think should be the first AEW World Champion out of CM Punk, Bryan, and Adam Cole? I must admit, I think Adam Cole's a bit underwhelming at the moment. I think it's a high bar. Let's put it that way. It's a very high bar. And like, Bryan Danielson's come in and just smashed it. CM Punk was always going to come in with a massive fanfare. So difficult for Adam Cole to come in and make any kind of impression. So I do feel sorry for Adam Cole. But he is struggling a little, right? I don't mean that as any kind of disrespect. I'm just saying it's hard for him to reach the same levels of excitement. So out of them, I would say that who would I want to see? Was that the question? Who do you think should be? Oh, that's interesting. Who should be? I'm going to go controversial. I'm going to say Adam Cole. Right? I'm going to say Adam Cole. The reason being because the other two don't need it. Adam Cole needs it. So everyone knows that Bryan Danielson's one of the biggest stars in the world. Everyone knows that CM Punk is one of the biggest stars in the world. Adam Cole was a big star in NXT and, in all fairness, had, good following in New Japan and Ring of Honor and, indie scene. But he's never made it in a major North American promotion. Like it's not like he was all over Raw, all over SmackDown. It's not like he's been on the AEW roster for a long time. So I kind of feel like there's maybe casuals that are still being introduced to him. Hardcore AEW fans, of course, know who he is. But people that really have maybe just got back into wrestling thanks to AEW may not have been watching NXT, might not know who he is. And I kind of feel like this is really an introduction to Adam Cole for a few people. So I think that he is the one that really needs to be booked well, because Bryan Danielson can get by with, just give him some great matches, give him some great opponents. People know who he is. Everyone knows the Yes Movement. Everyone remembers WrestleMania 30. Blah, 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 right? CM Punk, enough said. Adam Cole needs to be booked right. Needs to be, like, I would put him in the Undisputed Era. Just have Undisputed Era, just flipping destroy everything. Destroy everything, destroy everyone. Turn on the Bucks. Just absolutely dominate, like make Dynamite their own. Just make Dynamite their own. Just go rough shot, yeah? Even have Tony Khan coming out trying to control them, and he can't do it. Yeah, he can't control them. And you could even have Tony Khan come out and maybe fire them, saying, it was the biggest mistake I've ever made, you're fired. And actually, fire Adam Cole. Adam Cole could laugh at Tony Khan, maybe even make a comment saying you're no better than the other guy or whatever, walk away. Big moment and Dynamite, and then next week they come down, just start interrupting matches. you could say it's a little bit of Retribution, but like Retribution storyline had potential. It's just the way it was executed was trash. So I kind of feel that Adam Cole would really be the one that you should get behind and would probably really benefit with that kind of booking. And then you push him to the title first. You can always move with CM Punk and give him the belt anytime. You can always put the belt on Bryan Danielson. But I kind of feel like, what's the point in like just leaving Adam Cole in the background? Like, for me, he is the one that needs more attention. He's not managed to get kind of, I think, as over as Bryan Danielson and CM Punk. So that says to me that the booker's got to work a little bit harder. The creative's got to work a little bit harder. Got to support him. It's brilliant talent. No one's denying his talent. No one's saying that he's a failure, right? We're just saying that it's hard. He came in at the same time as Bryan Danielson. You know, not long after CM Punk. It's hard to get over when them two are, you know, shining so bright. And then you've got Hangman, and then you've got Darby, and then you've got Sammy, and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, that would be the direction I would go. Hollywood Guy said, hello, Days. Hello, Hollywood Guy. Hope you're well, bud. Says, what is your feeling on bringing back Divas in the Rumble? What's your thoughts on Punk insulting a fan on Twitter? He sounds crazy. I haven't seen this. So my thought on them bringing back Divas, I don't mind them bringing back Divas. I actually feel a bit sorry for the Divas because I think some of them, not all of them, but I think some of them actually did want to be wrestlers and wanted to be treated maybe better than what they were at the time. And so for them to come back now, you know, it's kind of nice that they maybe get treated a little bit more professionally than just being total divas. And obviously, you know, women's wrestling has changed in recent years. So it's nice in a way for them to come back and kind of get the respect they deserve. She wasn't a diva, but Alundra Blaze, for example, she was a woman that was around in the 90s and was amazing. I loved her. She was like the way that I got introduced to women's wrestling. See, I was really lucky when I got into wrestling. Alundra Blaze was around having great matches with Bull Nakano. It was weird. I talked about this the other day. I went from loving watching Bull Nakano had like the big Marge hair, yeah? Watching her against like Alundra Blaze and it being a different flavor. Like, you know, you got to watch men all the time. Well, wow, look, here's women. Women are wrestling now, and like it was different. I loved it, absolutely loved it. We went from that to the sham that was the Attitude Era women's wrestling, which was just bra and panties, Playboy matches, mud matches, all this kind of stuff. So I saw the disrespect, I saw the drop off. From there, we got a little better with Lita and Trish, but you know we're still you know treating women not the way that they are now. You've still got divas, you've still got matches being cut. They're still being seen as an attraction and not a viable, valuable part of the show. They're still being seen as, do you know what I mean? Just something to chuck out there for something different. And it's really not until we get to about 2015 with that Divas Revolution, hashtag Divas Revolution, and the arrival of the 4 Horsewomen and all that kind of stuff. Maybe AJ Lee as well, a little bit. It's not until we get to that kind of stage that I think things really start to change. And it's just nice now to see some of these people come back and get better respect. So I must admit, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Seeing them come back and actually show they can do a few moves during the Royal Rumble and show that there's a bit more to them than maybe what we saw last time. And also, like, I think people just like to see legends, don't they? So it's kind of fun in a way. They're not just leaning on NXT just to fill the Rumble. They've gone out and actually got some legends. They've got Michelle McCool, you know. They've gone and got the Bellas, which I know won't be to everyone's taste, but they were in Total Divas. They were in Total Bellas. They've definitely got a following. They've gone and got Lita, which I think has really gone under the radar. Obviously, they went and got Mickie James, which got a lot of excitement. So, yeah, I mean, look, has it generated a buzz? Absolutely. Absolutely. And look at all the conversations about Mickie James and Impact and all of that's been kicked up. So, yeah, I don't mind it. Honestly, I don't mind it. I think it was Wrestle with Andy counted that there's like 20 women on Raw and SmackDown. So even if you put in every woman on Raw and SmackDown, you wouldn't have enough. You've got to still find 10 women from somewhere. Yes, you could include NXT, but I can understand them not wanting to flood the Rumble with NXT. I do think there should be one person, though. Do you know what would have been really cool? Imagine if NXT did a tournament and the winner of the tournament got a spot in the Royal Rumble. That would have given NXT, like, matches a purpose. You could have done just, like, something simple. Could have been, like, even a 4-woman tournament. 4 women, 2 semi-finals, a final. Winner gets a spot in the Royal Rumble. I think that would be awesome. That would have been really fun. Could have done the same for the men as well. Right, I'm just having a look to see, like, this insulting of a fan. There's just a lot about tonight's show. PW Insider. Is that PW Insider? The official PW Insider 2021 Tag Team of the Year is the Young Bucks, is it, by 33%? Young Bucks, Lucha Bros 21, Usos 12, New Day 10, Young Bucks 24%. Tag Team of the Year. Absolute match. I'm just having a quick look to see if I can find that. Show. Oh, okay. So he's kicking. Is he kicking off at the? So 23 hours ago, someone with a verification tick, Aaron the Era. So CM Punk said, "We're still in a pandemic. If you're waiting at an airport to get stuff signed, you need to stop doing that." Okay, so I haven't seen any of this. I'm literally seeing it now. So CM Punk said, "We're in a pandemic. If you are waiting at an airport to get stuff signed, you need to stop doing that." This dude called Aaron, I don't know who he is, he said, "Is this you?" And it shows CM Punk jumping into the crowd when he made his debut. Right? So there's a gif of him jumping into the crowd saying, "Okay, so you've got a problem with signing people's things, but here's you during the pandemic jumping into the crowd." CM Punk fired back, "That sure is me, you," and probably like the strongest words you can use. At a show, post-vax, pre-Omicron, had to show proof of vax to gain entrance, not stalking anyone at a airport or hotel. How stupid are you? There we go. Is that the one you was talking about, Hollywood guy? I mean, it's an interesting interaction. I can understand CM Punk, wanting to keep himself safe, because if he gets sick, that's him off a show, and that is money. Right, that's AEW taking a hit and everything, isn't it? So I can understand him wanting to not catch COVID, and keep social hard. I mean, this is just going to be hard for all celebrities, isn't it? Like, I should imagine all celebrities get approached at all times, even during pandemics. So him saying that, I can understand it. Maybe he could have worded it a bit better, but. This Aaron guy saying, "Is this you?" showing him jumping into the crowds. Again, maybe if CM Punk had worded it a little better, maybe this Aaron guy wouldn't have felt the need to have tweeted that. And then CM Punk kind of comes back with a list of things saying it was post-vax, it was pre-Omicron, I had to show vax, blah, 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 blah. In capitals, he's put, "not stalking anyone at an airport or a hotel," which kind of implies, like, that's the bit that's bothering him. The fact he's put that in capitals kind of implies that that's the bit that's kind of upsetting him at the moment, like being stalked at an airport or a hotel. But, that ain't going away. That ain't going away, is it? So, don't know, it's just a little back and forth, isn't it, really? I don't think there's like really much to it. I can kind of see both sides of the argument. I can understand that dude asking the question, isn't this you as well, jumping into the crowd during a pandemic? And then CM Punk's answered it. But, I mean, just like most things on Twitter, it's heated, blown out of proportion, could have been resolved in a conversation. And just like most things on Twitter, has turned quite nasty. Welcome to Twitter. Is there any polls today? Yes, in Poland. Lots of them. Chicken Nug said, Days, who do you think the rumoured Forbidden Door entrant will be? I think Moose. I think can we just remember that in that same tweet, WrestleVote said that they are skeptical that there will be anyone at all, right? So I wouldn't get too carried away. Let's always remember that. Even the person that sent the message out said they're skeptical that anything's going to happen. So I think that there's a chance that it could be someone like, I think it's going to be someone that's ex-WWE. I think if WWE are going to bring someone in, they're going to do it for a pop. They're going to do it for the crowd. And I think it would be someone ex-WWE. So someone like Braun. I mean, it really depends who they can get that is not going to be too upset at them, that's going to be willing to return. So, yeah, I'm guessing, my guess would be someone like Braun. Someone that was ex-WWE, someone that when the music hits, there would be a reaction, there would be the crowd would know who they are. No disrespect to Moose. If once his music hits or whatever, no one is going to know who he is. Like, Impact's views are smaller than NXT's. So, Moose's music would hit and I would not have a clue who it was. Right? I wouldn't have a clue. I'd have to wait for the graphics and for him to actually show up before I even stood a chance of knowing who the flip it was. So, I don't think it would be Moose. I think it would be someone that would be ex-WWE. Harley said, Days, Saudi Arabia reportedly will take place on the 19th of Feb, which is a Saturday. Flippity-doo-dah. It's not happening. Only Mickey. No other entrants is going to... Adam is going to Qatar with EC3 to wrestle. Oh, is that what? He's going there that same weekend, is he? Have we already got people on the case trying to work these things out? The music is class, says Lucas. Alex said, Days, I was watching the Man U game the other day, and I'm not a fan of football. The game was good, but there was a lot of time wasting, goals that didn't count, and other stuff. Is that normal? Yeah, well, I mean, there's a bit of a problem in football with VAR, and it's quite controversial. I'd say it's one of the biggest kind of changes to the game that I've seen in my lifetime. So it came in a few years ago, and before there was no kind of video review. It was literally just what the ref saw and what the ref decided is what happened. So, if the linesman didn't see anyone as being offside, then they weren't offside. And it was just a talking point after the game, right? Whereas now, every goal kind of gets reviewed, and they look to see that no one's offside. They look to see there's no foul in the build-up to the goal. They check all this stuff, but the result of it is that there's lots of goals now that get discredited. If you watch the game earlier between Tottenham and Chelsea, they had 2 penalties that were given, overturned, right? So the ref pointed to the spot and said, yep, penalty, right? Back in the day, that would have been 2 penalties. But today, both of them overturned when the video referee had a look. And a goal that was scored that, again, was overturned because when they looked at the footage, the player, I think, was just offside. Just offside. So, yeah, I would say the game has kind of changed a bit in that regard, quite drastically over recent years. And it's very controversial. I mean, VAR is just probably one of the biggest topics of conversation in football or soccer if you're in America. And it's very controversial, and it can be a bit frustrating, to be honest, at times. But there's no denying that now everything is accurate. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you score a goal, you scored a goal, because everything gets checked now. There's it's kind of meant to make things fair, but I don't know, maybe it does take away some of the fun. There's only 3 more main roster women they could put in the Rumble right now that are available. After adding them 3, there would still be 8 left, meaning that there will be at least 8 surprises, says Harley. Miss Clown said, for Christmas, I gave my family Superman punches. That's nice. Sounds like about some kind of like a new Haribo, doesn't it? Superman punches. Sounds like maybe like little Haribo fists. Each one a different fruit flavor. Sounds lovely. If the Batman gets delayed, I'm going to cry, says Harley. I think that's actually breaking news. Roman is back in hospital. Is he? Days, obviously Tony Khan's surprise tonight will be Wyndham. How is no one talking about this? Listen, I'm tired of saying that it's Wyndham and people not believing me, and I keep getting proven right. I keep saying it's Wyndham. It keeps turning out to be Wyndham. It'll be Wyndham again tonight. And, again, no one's going to believe me. So I think I've just given up trying now, to be honest. Days, I miss the streams from 2020 when we would choose a pay-per-view and do a watch-along. Yeah, it's... that was good. That was when, like, the world was in lockdown. So, because everyone was, like, stuck indoors, that was kind of the reason why we were doing that. But it kind of feels like now, I think our just usual schedule is pretty good. I think we're we do a lot. I do a lot of streams. I mean, certainly if you add in, like, the Wrestling Escape Pod, the podcast on a Tuesday, every Tuesday, just before NXT. Which, again, I'm looking for your submissions. If you want to be on that podcast, you can. All you've got to do is send a little video clip of you asking a question, sharing a thought. It can be audio if you're not feeling comfortable being on a video. Just send me it, email me it to wrestlingdays@gmail.com, and then you can be on that podcast, because I'll play it. I'll play the clip. I'll play the video. Obviously, as long as it's not, as long as it's PG. I don't need someone asking a question whilst they're waving their tackle around, let's put it that way. Because, fun fact, it ain't going to make the episode. And I really want to get, like, as many questions as possible and really get people involved. So that is, it's got its own channel. It's called the Wrestling Escape Pod. It's every Tuesday, literally the hour before we start our NXT stream on a Tuesday. So that is, 6 Eastern? 6 Eastern on a Tuesday, Wrestling Escape Pod live. And we literally are talking, well, I can't say that we're going to talk wrestling. The conversation will be whatever you lot are asking. It doesn't have to be wrestling, but of course it will predominantly be wrestling. But so there'll be a lot of wrestling, but I'm kind of up for a bit of other stuff, a bit of music questions, a bit of whatever. Do you know what I mean? But I want people to share their thoughts as well. I don't just want questions. I want people to be like, oh, I'm so excited about this. I absolutely love this person. I really think they're going in this direction with this or that. Or I was thinking maybe they could book this, do this, blah, blah, blah. As I said, you've got about a minute to kind of get your thoughts across. And then, just chuck a, what do you think? Or, would you do that as well, or whatever? Just chuck a little summit at the end, a little question that will allow us to then throw it around and see what people watching think. So I'm kind of really thinking of doing, like, going in that direction. I'm really quite excited about it, and we'll kind of see how next Tuesday goes. So I'm very excited about that. We are literally about to go over to Dynamite. Let's go. Matt Davis, shout out to you. Harley said, Days, it's going to be Cena. It's sad, though, because by the end of the show, people will be complaining that there was no surprise, even though Cena was there, but they didn't know because they can't see him. Right, guys, it's Wednesday. You know what that means. It means it's middle of the week. Did you hear Cornette's thoughts on how WWE continues to release people whilst AEW doesn't have much room left? He said a third major promotion with big backing is needed. I did not hear that. I mean, in all honesty, I don't listen to like every second of every show that he puts out. I don't mind Jim Cornette. I really like him with his like. I really like hearing his opinions. I don't always agree with them, but I enjoy hearing his opinions because he's very passionate. And I love his knowledge. His historical knowledge is fantastic. So, yeah, I mean, I certainly don't hate him. I don't avoid him or loathe him or anything like this. Like I've listened to him for quite a long time, but equally I don't sit down and listen to every one of his shows. We're starting off with Adam Cole, Bay, and he's got O'Reilly and Fish by his side. I actually don't know what this is. Well, I do know it's Adam Cole. I would like to see them all wearing the same shirt, to be honest. I don't really want to see Adam Cole in one shirt and then... Because it really feels like they're his lackeys. It really feels like they're his... stooges. So he's got an Adam Cole Bay shirt on, but I think it would be better branding if actually they were treated as being a little bit more even. I understand that he's the leader. That's fine. But like when they were in Undisputed Era, they all wore the Undisputed Era shirt. Adam Cole, baby. Okay, so I don't know what this is going to be. A little promo by the looks of it. Will they announce their new name as Paragon? I do like this, by the way. We're starting off with Adam Cole, giving him, the first segment. Adam Cole said 2021 was a great year for the three of us. Adam Cole said he hasn't been pinned, he hasn't been submitted. The boys are back together. The baddest team on God's green. It's a new era in AEW. Is this the Bucks? Here's the Bucks. Okay. Bucks are making their way down and they're like, thanks for the invite. Days, my Transformer name would be Penatron. Guess what mechanical device I would be? A protractor. They trademarked Paragon, but it doesn't make sense to debut that name as a faction until the storyline shows us they're separate from the Bucks. We have to make one thing clear. This is our company. Okay, so the Young Bucks said their New Year's resolution is to get their belts back. Okay. Matt Jackson getting blown up walking down the ramp. Take the 2 weeks off. Okay, so tension between O'Reilly and Fish and the Bucks. Adam Cole said, how about a friendly competition? Okay. Days, imagine Seth dressing up as the Shield at the Royal Rumble versus Roman Reigns, says King Savage. Who's coming out? Best friends are coming out. Flip, how many best friends are there? Didn't realise there were so many best friends. Thing is back in it, that's why. Okay, so we've got... God, look at all these best friends. Can you have that many best friends? I thought you only had one best friend. Perhaps they have only got one best friend, but it all just happens to be like the other person, and that's why there's so many of them. Orange Cassidy is about to do a promo. 4 versus 4 where the Bucks and O'Reilly and Fish have to team together. Brody said, this is my first time watching AEW. Well, it's a bit weird. Like, they don't normally start with a promo in the ring. It's a very WWE thing to do, isn't it? It's a very SmackDown thing to do. Okay, Brandon Cutler gets thrown over the top to the outside. Low blow by Adam Cole. Days, there's a rumor floating around that Aaliyah is going to return on SmackDown. Okay. I didn't even know she'd gone away, to be honest. Here's Chris Statlander. Britt Baker coming down. Loving this. This is the first time I think we've seen Britt Baker and Adam Cole together in the ring. Loving this. DMD. I want to see him kiss. I want to see him kiss. Adam Cole in the ring. I tell you what, Britt Baker in that group. I don't know why. I never considered that. Undisputed Era. Here we go. Yeah! Money, baby. Money. Britt Baker giving Adam Cole a kiss. You got your wish, I know. Greatest Dynamite ever. And Carl's like, oh, look at you, baby. Look at you. Yeah, I never thought about Britt Baker being in like the Undisputed Era. Wow, this version of the Undisputed Era. I really like that. I remember Undisputed Era in NXT. A lot of people were talking about a woman joining it so that they could take all the belts. You know, dominate the tag, dominate the mid-card belt, dominate the NXT championship, but dominate the women's championship as well. God, it's just so naturally there, isn't it, in AEW? Of course you would have Britt Baker in with, and I mean, you are adding the arguably the best female to that group as well. Like, wow, honestly. I mean, we were just talking about how, like, CM Punk, Bryan Danielson have kind of really left Adam Cole behind. I actually think Britt Baker coming down there, in particular, Britt Baker coming down at the end of that segment, kind of teasing, like, okay, if this is going to split, if the Undisputed Era are going to split from the Bucks, you bring in Britt Baker and look at that faction then. You could have Adam Cole go after the belt, Red Dragon go after the tag titles, Britt Baker would have the women's title. I mean, potentially you could then bring in Roderick Strong at some point to go after that mid-card TNT title, or add someone into the group, but it's got to be Strong in it, really. I think he might have just signed a long-term deal with NXT, though. That's the only problem. But, yeah, I mean, even if you just keep it at that, keep it at them 4. I do like 4. I do like 4 in a faction. So, O'Reilly, Fish, Baker, and Cole. I really like that. I really like that. And just have them flipping dominate the whole roster, man. Dominate the tag division. Dominate the women's division. Dominate the world championship. I love it. Adding her does make sense, since Best Friends have also got a lady in it. Ooh, a lady. Lady, you say? Ooh. Tony, we need some ladies. That's exactly what she is. She's a lady. Wardlow, CM Punk is coming up next, says Hayden. I don't know if he said it with like that, but in my mind he did. Best intro in months. I loved it. Now let's just shove the Bucks out the picture. Totes. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I would have gone that way. To be honest, the way that it started, I mean, it was nice to hear from Adam Cole. It was great to give him that spotlight. He needed that, and he needed the Britt Baker thing. I don't know that I would have had the Bucks come down and, like, confront. I think, to be honest, I think I'd much prefer it if the Bucks thought everything was great. Do you know what I mean? I think I'd prefer it if the Bucks thought everything was great and then Red Dragon turn on them. Then O'Reilly and Fish just blindside them. I think I'd prefer it to go that way. But, I'm here for the story. It's good. Moldy Spoon said, add Tony Schiavone to go for the TNT title. Yes. And then you could have a real love triangle of Adam Cole, Tony, and Britt Baker. You know, all kind of battling for her love within within Paragon or whatever they're going to be called. Love it. Love it. Blood and Guts 2, Elite versus Paragon. The lady. Days, why do you think so many people hate the Young Bucks? Do you think they're cringe and bad wrestlers, or are they New Japan legends and a great tag team? I think that I don't think they're bad wrestlers, but I think their wrestling style is not to everyone's taste. I think that most people that watch AEW like that style. So I don't know that it's their wrestling that's so much of a problem, but yes, they are cringe at the moment, but they're heels and they're meant to be cringe. So this is how they're kind of getting over as heels, really, by making themselves cringe. But, they're coming out with Brandon Cutler, who's got the spray, who's meant to be annoying, is meant to be cringe. Their clothes are meant to be cringe, like their facial hair and them acting like goofballs. I mean, it's annoying. It's annoying. It's cringe. It's everything you just said, but it's meant to be. You know, this is why people hate them, because you're meant to hate them, because they're heels. So, in a way, are they not just doing their job? You know, are they not? I mean, you could argue they've got go-away heat. You could argue that it's annoying and it makes you want to change the channel, right? That's fine. You can argue it. but they have got heat. People find them annoying. People get irritated by them. People want to see them get beaten up. People want to see them lose. And that's exactly what they're going for. So, I think it's that, to be honest. Are they New Japan legends? I would say so. I mean, they won those junior tag titles enough times to be regarded as legends, yeah. I think in regards to tag team wrestling, you'd have to say they're one of the most important tag teams in the history of New Japan. So I think kind of both comments you made are true. I think they are New Japan legends. Legends is a very big word, isn't it? I don't know. Legends, I mean, certainly tag wrestling they are. I don't know if they're in the same bracket as Inoki. But, yeah, I mean, they are legends, I suppose, in tag wrestling, definitely. But they are also annoying and cringe. Zach said Corey Graves has been cleared to wrestle again. I saw that news, yeah. I was talking about it on Football Days, our Premier League football channel. We did a game earlier today. We do talk wrestling on there as well because, as news comes in, obviously. And I don't mind. Honestly, I don't mind. I'll go where the conversation goes. I'm just happy people join us. So I don't mind. But, yeah, we was talking about Corey Graves because that news had broke. And I think that it's been on the cards for a while. As soon as he won that 24/7 title, that was the first time I'd seen him actually get, like, physical in any way. In a long time, and so that immediately made me question: is he cleared? Can he wrestle? So it immediately had that effect. So I must admit he was a bit of a dark horse already for being in the Rumble for me. In fact, on a previous watch along, we've said about that he got physical in that 24/7 thing. Could he be in the Royal Rumble? I mean, obviously, as of now, he's still not announced for the Rumble. But if he's medically cleared, it would make sense that he stands up from the announce desk and goes in the Rumble. So, yeah. It's good. I'm pleased for him. I don't know if this is going to be like a long run or maybe he goes in the Rumble, it starts a little feud, he has a WrestleMania match. I could see them doing that, but is he going to be like a wrestler now instead of a commentator? I'm not so sure. I'm not sure. I suppose we'll see how it goes. But I could see them putting him in the Rumble and then giving him a WrestleMania match and that being the plan for now. See how that goes. Him against Byron Saxton. I could see that. I could see Saxton being in the Rumble as well because Saxton also got physical with that 24/7 because he pinned Corey Graves. So, and if Corey's having a match, Saxton would be the logical opponent. So maybe we get Corey Graves against Byron Saxton. This generation's Michael Cole against Jerry Lawler. Collect the first official AEW trading cards. They are available now. I'm so happy that Corey Graves is getting cleared to wrestle again, says Hayden. I bet he is. I wonder if we'll see him and Carmella team together. That could be interesting. Corey Graves' wrestling return is limited, says Corvid. Ethan said, do you think Strong will come to AEW at some point? Yeah. I mean, I don't think the main roster is going to be very kind to Roderick Strong. Unless he's willing to accept just having matches, you know? I mean, I don't see him being a champion. I can't see, I mean, his look isn't really anything that blows your mind. He's not the biggest of guys. He's not the most muscular of guys. His promos have never been that great. Like, in all fairness, out of the three key areas, which is look, promo, and wrestling, two of them are maybe a little underwhelming. Wrestling, off the chart. I mean, wrestling-wise, he's a brilliant in-ring technician. He's brilliant. But we know that Vince doesn't really care about that. So, yeah, I think he'll get as much money out of WWE and ride it for as long as possible. Maybe, they'll use him as a coach of some kind. Little bit like a male Natalia. You know how Natalia is there to put talent over and work with the young talent. I can see them using Roderick Strong that way. Just use him to try and get some of that young talent over, and I can definitely see that. But if he wants to actually maybe have something a bit more substantial when the opportunity arises, I could see him going to AEW. We are underway with this match, by the way. Wardlow against CM Punk. And I am expecting this to be a case that MJF gets involved. MJF is at ringside. Clubbing blow to the back of CM Punk. CM Punk goes over to the corner. And Wardlow driving his shoulder in. We were talking about how Dynamite has really gone to a different level ever since Bryan Danielson came in and Adam Cole and CM Punk. And, what better example than so far? First segment all about Adam Cole and, his new faction against the Bucks and kind of like Britt Baker coming down and maybe a few teases for where this could be going. And then we go straight out of that into a CM Punk match against Wardlow. It's kind of like the first half an hour has been dominated, if you will, by those two superstars that got brought in. And that shows like how much stronger Dynamite is now with these additions. CM Punk on the outside of the ring, and MJF comes round to kind of gloat a little bit, is leaning against the ring as Aubrey is counting away. Will Punk get powerbombed tonight? There's a good chance he will. Wardlow coming over, trying to grab CM Punk. CM Punk driving his shoulder into the midsection of Wardlow. Going over the top, gets caught by Wardlow. Wardlow drives CM Punk into the corner. Kicks coming in. Legend Killer. Hello. Shout out to you. Hope you're well. I agree, Days. Before Cole, Bryan, and Punk joined, I tried watching, but it wasn't grabbing me. Yeah, I mean, I must admit, like, the early days of Dynamite were hit and miss for me as well. Quite consistently, this show would go up against NXT, and I honestly thought NXT put on the better show. But I think, obviously, if it was to happen now, because of, the talent that's been brought in by AEW, undoubtedly AEW would be the better show. Kind of funny, actually. It kind of feels like AEW went to a different level after NXT was forced to move. As soon as NXT went to a Tuesday, AEW was unopposed, and then they also started to bring in like these big names. And ever since the Wednesday Night War ended, AEW has gone to the moon. Matt Hardy against Penta. Acclaimed against Bear Country. 1 Minute Wrestler said, I want to see Corey Graves against Byron Saxton at the Royal Rumble. High kick coming in by CM Punk. Wardlow no sells. Kick to the midsection by Punk. Clothesline. Wardlow staying on his feet. Against the ropes goes Punk. Clothesline. Wardlow on his feet. Punk going against the ropes again. Clothesline. Wardlow on his feet. Wobbling a little bit. Strike coming in by Punk. Punk really laying in some strikes. Going over to the corner. Wardlow momentarily down onto one knee. Springboards. Clothesline. And finally Wardlow goes down. CM Punk having to dig quite deep. His hair is drenched with sweat. CM Punk having to, as I say, work really hard to get Wardlow down. 1 Minute Wrestler, shout out to you. Did you hear WWE extremely interested in Wardlow according to Wrestle votes? I did. I saw that they reported that without hesitation. Without hesitation, they sent that tweet out. Not my words, theirs. They actually wrote that in the tweet. We can confirm, without hesitation, that WWE are interested in Wardlow. Powerbomb by Wardlow. Coach Co said, why did the dinosaur cross the road? Because the chicken wasn't born yet. Powerbomb hit by Wardlow. People wondered if he would get it, and he did. He's going for a second here. Bang. Another one. And he's looking for a third. And a fourth. He's got a family, damn it. 5 power bombs in a row. 1, 2. MJF interferes. So Wardlow looked like he was about to win. MJF wants more. MJF wants Wardlow to give him more. Okay, so Wardlow is going for another one. There's number 6. MJF wants another one. I mean, you can't even pick CM Punk up. CM Punk at this point is just a dead weight. 7th. 7 power bombs in a row. This is turning into flipping Lana going through that table. We're up to 7 now. Punk is getting destroyed. He is. Any idea what the surprise is going to be? I'm thinking it's going to be like Brody King, Briscoes, something like that. MJF is clearing the table. Now he wants Wardlow to put CM Punk through the table. It's a real... I mean, like, look, this is the way it was always going to go. We said there would be interference. In all fairness, MJF isn't necessarily physically interfering, but he's interfering. And it is it's really frustrating. I feel Wardlow's frustration. CM Punk planted through the table. I mean, he is getting... CM Punk is getting destroyed by Wardlow. He's getting absolutely destroyed. Okay, so CM Punk's down. We're up to 2. Four. I don't know what we're up to. It's a slow count. 7. Yeah, even JR's like the referee's been very kind with the count. There we go. CM Punk gets back. In all fairness, he had about a minute. How did he do it? How did he get in the ring? Oh, and a roll-up. It's stupid. A roll-up after all that. A roll-up. Oh, God. On paper, that might have looked better than it was in execution. Wardlow loses. Thanks to a roll-up. Come on, it surely would have been better for MJF to have jumped in the ring and just started beating up CM Punk. And then Wardlow lose by DQ. Rather than getting rolled up. We've got MJF and Wardlow in the ring. MJF pushes Wardlow. Classic poking at the chest here. Wardlow grabbing MJF's hand. Here's Shawn Spears. Shawn Spears is surely there to take the bump. Wardlow walking away. Shawn Spears going after him. CM Punk down. Well, Wardlow just walks away. I thought Wardlow was going to take his frustration out on Shawn Spears as to use that to send to a message to MJF. Just have Wardlow turn. We don't need stupid booking. Minty said, I tagged you in some on Twitter. What is it, Minty? Is it a Serena Deeb Appreciation fan club? Oh, it's some kind of clip. I can't be watching clips. Certainly not a clip of Impact. Lawrence said, is this just me, or did that make Wardlow and MJF look like idiots? Yep. Yep. It did. It did. I mean, like, we could all see where it was heading. We could all see that Wardlow wasn't going to get the win the longer it was going on. Aubrey with the slowest flipping count in the world. I didn't even think the table spot on the outside looked that great. And then a roll-up. A roll-up. Yeah, it does. It does make them... Well, I mean, I don't know if it makes Wardlow look like an idiot. But it makes MJF look like an idiot. Wardlow just was following instructions, wasn't he? And obviously storms off. But I hate the fact that he's been pinned. I hate that. I hate that. Yeah, that could have been done better, I think. James said that was beep. Why the beep did they Punk beat Wardlow? FFS. That was bad booking. Impact is better than the beep we just saw. Whoa, I tell you what, people are kicking off here. People are kicking off. Don't know about you, Days, but this audience tonight is not good. They seem a bit quiet. Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, I don't think what they just got there. I love the power bombs. I mean, like 4 or 5 power bombs, brilliant. I thought that was good. And maybe at that point, like MJF could have come in to like go up to CM Punk and like grab his head and just start like talking to him. Like, you see, this is what's going to happen when I get my hands on you. And like maybe Aubrey's like, get out the ring or something like this. And maybe MJF like loses it with Aubrey, just pushes her out the way just so he can like still carry on. And so as a result, Aubrey rings the bell. It means that Wardlow loses. Do you know what I mean? Like, I kind of feel like that would have been logical. It would have been a bit snappier. Still would have resulted in the split. It wouldn't have meant that Wardlow took a pin. Like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's one of them. I mean, maybe like Tony's got so much that he's having to book and there's so much that's going on that, like, on paper, that was like, yep, that's fine. That gets us to where we need to get to. And he's like, I don't know, moving on to something else. But I think if you stopped and looked at it, I think you'd see there was better ways of doing it. Hey ho. Suplex. Oh, I like that. Suplex. I didn't like the fact that Punk got powerbombed 7 times and then managed to win. Many ways to further the story. That was pretty cheap, in my honest opinion. I didn't even say that. It said in my opinion. I can't cope with these abbreviations. Suplex, shout out to you, my friend. Yeah, I think the majority of us here are going to be in agreement that could have been done. Could have been done better. Oh well, doesn't matter. I'm still intrigued by the split and when it's going to happen and whatnot. I mean, clearly that is going to be MJF's next feud. It's going to be when he's done with CM Punk. His next feud seemingly is going to be Wardlow. Right, Powerhouse Hobbs. I don't know why, but Powerhouse Hobbs kind of sounds to me like a place you buy kitchens. It's the kind of place where you'd get a kitchen from. It's where you buy a new oven. Let's go down to Powerhouse Hobbs, see what they've got. They might have the new summer range in. Which one is this? Is this the Dante Martin one? Or the Daniel Garcia one? Because I honestly cannot tell them apart. Well, I think I probably could, but I just don't care about them enough to tell the difference. Dante Martin has got a lot of potential, but he still feels very generic to me. He still feels like one half of a tag team. Kind of feel like if he had like an epic entrance, bit of a gimmick, something you could actually like hang your hat on. Like literally, the curly hair is all I know about him. He's got like slightly curly hair. It's kind of like Bob Ross's son. Let's go down to Powerhouse Hobbs days. They've got a new counter for the kitchen. I'll pick you one up. Here at Powerhouse Hobbs, we can find you the best kitchen that'll meet all of your needs. Telling you. If AEW doesn't work out, he can jump onto that. Sonny said, Days, the Timmy's ice cap machine is broken. Classic. It sounds like they're doing a McDonald's milkshake machine tribute. Strike's coming into the midsection. We're about 40 minutes in. 40 minutes in. Dante against Rhodes gets clotheslined by Powerhouse Hobbs. Dante, surprise win, probably says DFDD. Where is Hook? Well, we can't see him all the time, can we? Come on. Otherwise, we'll get a bit too much. The fact that you want to see him and you might not see him, I think that's good. Can't have him all the time. Lawrence said, I saw that roll-up coming a mile away. Wardlow had the match won. Eric said, there's tons of empty seats on my right and left. And same side of the hard cam. Not good. Not good. Well, I mean, if that is the case, then, you know, it's just kind of really, I think, the state of wrestling. WWE isn't any better. This actually looks like quite a big arena, in all fairness. And, truthfully, the lights are very dark, so I could believe that. Look at that. It's pitch black. It's pitch black. You can't really see the crowd at all. Over into the corner goes Dante Martin. I wonder how many people are in that stadium arena. I wonder if that is a talking point. Because I wasn't really paying attention, but it is dark. If you have a look around, like, it's really dark. I can't see. I have no idea if there's people in them seats or if those seats are all empty. I genuinely don't know. I'm starting to think they might all be empty. No, I don't know. It is extra dark. Oh my god, AEW extra dark. That's what this is. AEW extra dark. We know that you love dark. From the makers of Dark, AEW extra dark. I think there's going to be about 70 people there. Yeah. I reckon there's just one front row, a few mirrors to make it look like there's more, and then they've turned the lights off everywhere else so you can't see. That it is literally, there's like one person there. That's right. Someone said earlier that it was like, this crowd isn't very good. That's because there isn't a crowd. I don't know. I mean, it might be rammed. It could be full. I seriously don't know. All I know is that I never paid it much attention until it just got pointed out, but can't see the crowd. Powerhouse Hobbs in control. AEW Dark, AEW Dark Elevation, AEW Extra Dark. We don't need Rampage or Dynamite. Listen, they've got to find a way of getting all these wrestlers on TV. I think that AEW Extra Crispy would be a better show name. Be a tastier name. That's what I mean. It's overly dark. AEW overly dark. Powerhouse Hobbs slamming down Dante Martin. Standing over Dante Martin. Strike coming in. Martin going down. It's very slow. Are we at commercial break? Are you at commercial? Because this is really slow. AEW Dark Side of the Ring. Ah, well done, Michael. Well done. This week on Dark Side of the Ring, AEW Dynamite. Look how dark this is. Well, there we go. Yes. Okay. Literally, all we had was Powerhouse Hobbs going like this. Well, I don't know if you had picture-in-picture. If you didn't, you missed a flipping nothing. Torture rack, Dante Martin up on the shoulders, flips over. Drop kick by Dante Martin. It's really weird, isn't it? Really weird. I wonder what other job just sort of stops if no one's watching. I don't know. What other job does that? What other job just stops if there's like, we've gone to commercial and it just stops? Could you imagine if a surgeon did that? You've got like a surgeon and the other like nurses are in there, and whilst they're watching him, it's like this. And as soon as they like turn away, he just kind of stops and waits for a bit of attention again or something. And as soon as they start looking, he gets back at it again. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird how you can watch and go, we're at commercial, aren't we? We're at commercial. Hobbs getting back into the ring, kick to the side of the head. What happened to Jay Lethal? I feel like I've not seen him in ages. He's been lost to the darkness. He's just wandering around the stands, trying to find the dressing room. He's just in the dark like this. Hello, Marco, like hello. Oh, I don't like it. It's just like that in the stands. And then at the end of the night, they turn the lights on, and he's like, "Oh goddamn, I was over the other side. I was nowhere near." 1, 2. Dante Martin wins. Dante Martin wins. Is that Jay Lethal? He's found it. He's found his way. Yeah. Well done. I ordered The Rock on Wish and I got Starks. Look, Days, open your eyes. It's Jay Lethal. Amazing. He found his way out of the darkness. Right, Chris Jericho. That didn't grab you. In a circle. Inner Circle won Faction of the Year. Jericho promised to take over this country. Wow. We promised to take over this country. I think Jericho just gave a declaration of war. Here's Eddie Kingston. Jericho rinsed the Just for Men. Rinsed out the Just for Men. Okay, so Kingston's here. Jericho says, in the big leagues, we dominate. I don't care what happened on the streets of New York. I don't care what happens in the Indies. Santana and Ortiz walk off. Hager walks off. I will allow the community to name the new doggy that I got today. Well, there we go. If you want to name William's new dog, fire in your suggestions. Okay. Name my new female doggy poll, says William. Well, William, see what suggestions come in, tell me the options, and then we can put them in a poll. Here's MJF. MJF coming back out. He said, I hate to interrupt this program, even though I'm the only real star on it. I know you're backstage, CM Punk, and I know that you're in a world of pain. A-hole, 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 a-hole. You got a fluke victory. MJF said, I will personally make sure that next week you take your first L in AEW. You want the match? So, CM Punk against Shawn Spears. Wouldn't you do that the other way round? Wouldn't you have done this week CM Punk versus Shawn Spears, and then next week you do CM Punk versus Wardlow? Why did they do CM Punk Wardlow and then it's CM Punk versus... Like, if I'm CM Punk, next week is drastically less terrifying than what this week was. Ooh. Shawn Spears, you say? Ooh, mixed tag match. Chris Statlander and OC against Adam Cole and Britt Baker. That's fun. I'm into that. Sign me up for Britt Baker, Adam Cole in a mixed tag team. Here is the champion. What the hell's he wearing? He doesn't feel like a champion. Hangman coming down. I'm not keen on what he's wearing. Gotta be honest, it doesn't feel like the AEW chat. You know, like when Roman comes out and like it's just epic music, big feel. Like Hangman just kind of comes out, it's like woo, and like I don't know. I feel like we could really help make Hangman feel bigger. He's massively over. I'm not saying he's not over. Okay, so it's a promo by Hangman. He says that he spent 90 minutes in the ring with Bryan Danielson. Hangman feels like DDP did as champion. Hangman doesn't move the needle. I do like I like Hangman. But it just sort of feels like the Hangman that was coming out getting drunk. Like, he doesn't... If you think about, like, how big the entrances are for, like, Bobby Lashley or Roman Reigns, or, do you know what I mean? Like, Karrion Kross when he was NXT champion, or even Bron Breakker. Like, Hangman's music just play. Out he comes. With, like, a weird t-shirt and a little cheap-looking, like, waistcoat thing. I don't know. I feel like we could really, like, this is the man. This is the man. Maybe that's part of the appeal, that he's just a regular dude. Don't know what I would do. I think I'd give him some killer ring gear, even if he was just cutting a promo. I think I might even have some women come out or anything, like build up his entrance, make him feel big time. Maybe give him a flipping announcement. Did he even get an announcement? Did he even get a... I don't know. I don't even know if he even got introduced. Anyway, park it. Dan Lambert's here. Lambert's Lambert said you didn't take the Cody Rhodes path to get your opportunities. Dan Lambert said, stop disrespecting the legacies of the Dick Murdochs and the Blackjacks. Because you acting like a cowboy comes across as you being full of cowboy poop. Dan Lambert not impressed. Dan Lambert said, I think you know that's not going to happen when Hangman asks him to step into the ring. Lance Archer? Have I missed something? Clothesline. For me, it just went to like a ad break, but we've just cut back. That's all right. Lance Archer's attacked Hangman anyway. At least I didn't miss that. But out of nowhere, it just went to like a commercial break thing, and now it's just cut back to Hangman. I was like, did I miss something? What happened? Why have we cut to a commercial? But it must have been a little mistake. Strike coming in by Lance Archer. So he's got Hangman up in the air. Oh, that's pretty moody, isn't it? plants him through a chair. That's a great looking spot. So the chair is set up. He's got him up in that kind of like razor. I don't know what the finisher's called. It's like the razor's edge thing. But rather than just dropping him down, he kind of flips him over and flips him onto that chair. Nice. Lance Archer is back. That must have been painful. Shola said it's a weak crowd reaction. Ooh, that's a great spot. That's a great spot. I don't know what's Lance Archer done to deserve this, though. It's just a classic wrestling classic. Come out, challenge the champion, and get a title opportunity. Is on Anderson. This is Horseman country. So Tully says, "You need if you want to be successful, you need to join us." Handshake between Tully and Arn. Okay. Archer's been gone for months after he landed on his head on the top rope, remember? I don't remember, to be honest. Lance Archer is underrated this year, Days. Keep up. Lance Archer is underrated. What do you mean? Do you mean undefeated? Arn and Tully fighting is not something that I need to see. Is Archer the surprise? Maybe. Maybe Archer is the surprise. I still don't like it. I don't care if he's undefeated. I haven't seen him in months. He's got no momentum. In my, I've been watching the show every week, and for me, he's got no momentum. It's there's other people that I'd rather see challenging for that. I mean, I kind of feel like Lance Archer could have come back and gone after someone and started a little feud and then kind of got himself in contention. And then maybe I'd be a bit more excited then to see Lance Archer against Hangman. But it's exactly what they did with Hangman. Hangman went off to on paternity leave. Then he came back after being away for a while, won the opportunity to win the title, And I hated that as well. And now they've kind of done the same here with Lance Archer. He's been gone with an injury, come back straight into a title match. For me, he's coming in cold. You can't go away for that long and maintain your momentum. So, definitely not the way that I would be booking that. I would put him into a feud. Put him in a feud. Have him win that feud. Then you could maybe have his attention turned to the title, and at least then he'd be warm. But this just really feels like a body for Hangman to beat. That's how it kind of comes across. Do you remember earlier we were talking about Miro could be someone for Hangman to beat? Well, Miro, Lance Archer, same difference. So, Lance Archer's the person they're seemingly bringing in to give Hangman a feud with and a few victories over. So, get in your thoughts. What do you think of the show? We are at commercial break and we are at the half time point. Hayden says 7.5. Austin with a 7.5. ZVD said 6.25. Derek said Lance Archer is a great talent. He just needs to be booked better. That's why Tony needs to bring in William Regal. You've been copying me all night. Dynamite's been great apart from Wardlow Punk, says James. No one has seen Miro in a while. He was doing those vignette things, wasn't he? He was doing that God's Favorite Champion thing, I think. Or God's Favorite Redeemer, or I don't know. I just remember him doing some vignettes in a white light, wandering around, talking to God. Like, it was kind of like he had lost his mind a little bit. Okay, so we are back from commercial break, and we've got Jade Cargill, the new TBS Women's Champion, cutting a little promo. Oh, here we go, man. Here we go. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this. Yes. Ah, Deeb attacks her as well on the entrance ramp. Brilliant. Deeb attacks her on the entrance ramp. Kill her, Deeb. Kill her. Make her pay. Make her humble. Make her humble. She goes to swing the kendo stick. Karu Shida kicks the kendo stick away. She picks up Shida. Dumps her. Ooh, knee first onto the ring step. Brilliant. Brilliant. Do it. Do it again. Do it again, Deeb. Do it again. Do it again. This time, do it to her face, not a knee. Do it to her face, Deeb. Make her humble. She's a jabroni, Deeb. She's a jabroni. How long was the ref checking on her? Has the ref not even started counting? In fairness, has the match even started? Right, so he's telling her to get into the ring. Perhaps the match hasn't. I'll let him off. I don't think the match has technically started. I hate this ref. Right, bell has sounded now. Kick's coming in by Deeb. That's it, Deeb. Go on, Deeb. Kicking away at Shida's leg. Going back over. Putting both of her legs up. Dragon screw. Nice. Foot on the bottom rope. Ugh. Comes crashing down on that knee. And again. One more. Boom. Working the knee. Deeb looking out at the crowd. Nodding. Nodding. Yeah. Shida tries to take a shot at Deeb. Collapses down. That leg is mush. Shida is way better than Deeb. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it at the moment. Look, she's tearing at the knee pads. Taking off that tape. Vicious. She's got the arm. Oh, slamming. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Lovely wrestling this is. Really pulling back on the leg. Yeah, she's won. No way. I was expecting Shida to come back there. Deeb wins. Oh, my God. Amazing. Oh, I'm so tired of wrestlers being attacked on the entrance ramp, and yet they still managed to come back. Like, she got attacked. Deeb was relentless. Battered her. Won.
It's great booking. It's brilliant.
I'm so tired of like wrestlers attacking them and then obviously they still don't win. With this, Deeb, what I like about that is that these two are very even, right? They're very even with their kind of presentation. Like, these matches are presented as if they're 50-50. They could go either way. If Deeb's going to jump Hikaru Shida, hurl her knee into the ring step, batter her like this way, then, yeah, she should get the win. Like, yeah, it's great. It's great. Oh, why is Aubrey... Why does it only take one Aubrey? Why does it only take one Aubrey to hold back Deeb? Slap the taste out of her mouth. Bust up Aubrey's knee. Do it. Smack her with a kendo. Put her in the ring steps. Make her humble. How did it only take one Aubrey? Well, you lot are a bit flipping late, aren't you? There's no point running down now, is there? What's the point in running down to the ring now? They're trying to help. Serena Deeb is a legend. She is a legend. Aubrey versus Deeb. Bucket. She's going to make her humble. Shida's going to go to Japan. Shida's going to the hospital. Aubrey likes to be the center of attention. Wow, there's no denying that. Okay, so Jurassic Express say they want to take on a top 5 team. Is this Reynolds and Silver arrive? And Christian's like, guys, when you see a top 5 team, can you send them our way? Silver's like, we are top 5. I like Silver. It's cool, man. Matt Hardy. Da, da, da. Matt Hardy versus... Oh, Penta. Rebby. This faction is one of the worst things on AEW, says Austin. Days, have you got any Serena Deeb posters that you secretly make out with? No, but I would if I did. Delete. Oh, I wonder if you can get, like, autographed Deeb AEW cards. I might have to have a look at that. Check out Upper Deck. See what Upper Deck are saying. Zero. Miero. Flames and pyro and excitement. It wouldn't be a secret if Days told us, would it? This attire reminds me of Psychosis from WCW, says 1987. Big fan. Austin said, I've got an autographed Deeb card and you can't have it. Very good. I love this Penta gear, says Erase Your Mind. There we go. So there's a guy in the front row that's got is that a Penta mask? And he does the Sierra Miero thing. Actually, to me, it looks more like Parker. He is dangerous in Lucha Underground by himself. Penta for the TNT Championship, says Boomers. Days, huge shout out to Neemster for being the host with the most down under here in Cowboy Land, Tubac, Arizona. LDTV, shout out to you, dudes. El Ghazi has gone to Everton, according to Fabrizio Romano. Yeah, well, they definitely need Summit. I don't know if they need that, but it's a bit moody, isn't it? Luca Dean and Coutinho going over to, and apparently they're interested in Basuma, Aston Villa. And Everton get El Ghazi. He's not a bad player, though. He definitely has moments. I think Everton need more than moments, though. Those are my thoughts. Still waiting for Man United to sign someone. Sierra Miero, we're just getting lots of that. Get to the midsection. Am I the only one who doesn't know what Lucha Bros chant? Sierra, Miero, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, The Shield, Dunnan, 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 Dun, Dun, Dun. Days, I bet you own 0 of Deeb merch. I do own 0 Miero of Deeb merch. I don't have any. I might have a look now, actually, whilst this match is on, because I don't give a flip about this much. Upper Deck. Let's have a look and see what you've got. Upper Deck. I want to see if you've got any Serena Deeb. Products. Nope. Where the flip's the AEW stuff? I thought it'd be on like the home page, but it isn't. Hockey. Spider-Man. Collecting customer care products. Perhaps you have to go onto like the Twitter and click on a link and all this. If you go to Upper Deck, there's nothing on the homepage about AEW. And then even if you click on products, it says sports checklist, games and collectibles, organized play, store locator, suite 1 of 1, basketball, football, golf, hockey, and soccer. Why is there not a Serena Deeb section? That's my... That's my question. Where's the Serena Deeb section? How can I not just go on and click on Serena Deeb and get all the Serena Deeb goodness? It's a sham. It's probably on the 50% off part of the page, says J14. Serena Deeb should be women's champion. Yep. A woman of 1,000 holds t-shirt. Yeah, the only problem with that is I can't wear that, can I? I can't walk into a pub, and that's my test. Whenever I look at a shirt, I think, would I be happy to wear that walking into a pub? I can't wear a shirt that says a woman of 1,000 holds. Because, honestly, there's drunk people in pubs, and I'm going to get questions, aren't I? Woman of 1,000 holds. And there's me having a pint. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to get questioned. I can't wear that shirt. This is the problem with some of these, like, tops and shirts. Like, they don't think it through. Do you know what I mean? Like, why don't we just have, like, a really cool Serena Deeb shirt? Just something that's got her looking like badass on. Like, great, brilliant. It's the same as like the Roman Reigns stuff. You can't walk into a pub with a shirt that says "Acknowledge me." Do you know what I mean? It ain't gonna work. I don't want that kind of attention. Acknowledge me. I am just looking at the latest merch, actually. We are still underway with this match. Both guys are down. Physically and emotionally, both guys are down right now. Yeah. Jesus, I don't know how many times we've had that so far in this one match. There's a nice Sammy Guevara jacket. It's quite nice. The Spanish God. A few mugs. A few stickers. There's a Jade Cargill TBS Championship t-shirt already. There's a Bunny Let's Play and she's dripping in blood t-shirt that they've made already. I didn't realise they were like churning out so many shirts. Jim effing Ross. Beat Cancers. I mean, in all fairness, I probably don't need the Beat Cancers ass part. Just the Jim Ross shirt's really cool. I don't know if it will show it, but will it show it? There's the Jim Ross one. You see that Jim effing Ross one? That's really quite cool. But as I said, I probably don't need the Beat Cancers ass bit at the bottom, but still nice. Super Click, Send Hook, Kyle O'Reilly, Anna J. Ooh, signed pictures. You can get a signed Hangman picture, $50. Signed Christian picture, signed Luther, signed Pac, Sean Dean, Hikaru Shida, Peter Avalon, or Jake Hager. Oh, you can buy signed pictures. No Serena Deeb. Hardy getting back into the ring to kick out. Signed pictures? I didn't know. They're the only ones they seem to have, though. The Ethan Page shirt is cool. I like the Ethan Page one. Have they got any other ones? I don't know. I'm just going to search Serena Deeb. That's probably what I should have done at the start. Serena Deeb. We've got Penta up top. Back elbow by Matt Hardy. Penta's down. Ah, you can get a signed Serena Deeb one. Ah! Oh my god, when did they start doing those? Again, look, I'm going to show you. There it is, look. Serena Deeb, official AEW autographed 8x10. Yes! Someone's won. Oh my god. I'm going to buy it. And I've lost my charger. Finally, it's over. Penta wins. Malachi Black. Penta has got a message for you. I think he said I'm scared. Lights have gone out. Penta was calling out Malachi. Buy it, Days! I am. signed Serena Deeb. That's cool, that is. I didn't know they did signed pictures on the shop. That's really cool. And really reasonably priced as well, like $30. That's not bad at all, is it? At all. In fairness, you know, if you was like a hardcore AEW fan, you could spend a good couple of £100 just like getting. Well, it'd probably be more than that, but you could get a few of them. I mean, $30, you could get 10 for $300. Lights have gone out again. Brody King. So it is, the surprise was Brody King. Oof, that's pretty vicious, isn't it? Okay, so Brody King has made his debut. He's got cool tattoos. He'd make a great figure. He's got really cool tattoos. On the front, it needs a bit more work on the back. I got a Ring of Honor wrestler named Sledge that's following me. The Kings of the Black Throne have arrived. Right, here's Layla Hirsch, Red Velvet, Chris Statlander. Statlander's not a great promo, is she? I'm just starting to think I've never really heard her talk. Wow, a little disagreement between Layla Hirsch and Chris Statlander. I have a hater named Sludge following me. Not quite the same, but following what you hate. Gotta respect it. Who the hell is Brody King? Is like Burger King, but scarier. Here, yo. Now listen. Why do candles always go on top of cakes? Because it's hard to light them from the bottom. It's very true. Yo, listen. Yes. Apparently Rice is valued at 200 million. Thoughts? That's my thoughts. I watch the show every week and I can't keep up with all these guys, says Charles. Is Brody King the third member of Bear Country? He looked good. In fairness, he looked good. Brody King looked good. Certainly laid in that, what was it, a cannonball? Certainly laid that in. No half measures there, was there? Morgul Matt said, I really like the Acclaims. Yo, listen. Holler when you're here. I got big beats up here. Everybody scream and cheer. I don't know, says Sonny. No, that was pretty good. You did all right. What do cakes and baseball teams have in common? They both need a good batter. Is that Coach Co? Yep, it's Coach Co. Austin says, I have a wrestler that follows me. His name is Wyndham. Heather says, Baby Bears. Bear Country are the Viking Raiders of AEW. Yes. Yes. Did you know that behind Chuck Norris's beard, there is just another fist? I can believe that. I can believe that. We've got 29 minutes remaining, my friends. 29 minutes remaining. Hype Man 15 said the top 5 factions of all time: 1, NWO; 2, DX; 3, Evolution; 4, Retribution; 5, Shield. I don't think anyone's going to argue with that. That is absolute facts. One in that list is not like the others. That's all I'm going to say. But hardcore facts right there. Lol, Rappin' Days sounds like the Chocolate Barbie song. I don't know the Chocolate Barbie song. Must be amazing. Big Time Baxter said, Days, I know AEW has a big roster, but does Tony really need to squeeze in like 50-odd backstage interviews and promos from most of the roster every week on Dynamite? Well, he doesn't have to, but he chooses to. I mean, what I would say is they do use every flipping second of the show. I mean, honestly, like, they go to promos, they say what they got to say, and then they are out of there. Apart from, like, you know, maybe the odd match going a touch long, they do use their time, fill their time well. Maybe a bit too well. David said Retribution clearly should be number 1. That is a terrible list. Doppelganger said number 1 is the Horsemen. The 4 Horsemen are the greatest of all time. Yo, listen. Days, can I get a shout out? Michael Marone, is it Marone? Gaming and Wrestling, shout out to you. At least they don't pound their chests yelling bear, 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 bear. I think we all wish they did, though. Bear, 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 bear. Come on. Would that be better? I think it would. Netbreaker. AEW could probably fill 3 hours better than Raw, says David. Does anyone remember the Dudes with Attitudes in 1990? I don't remember them in 1990. I still can't get Thunder Rosa to follow me. I know Thunder Rosa quite well, and she said she hates you. I can't remember how it came up in conversation, but she said that she just really hates you. It's nothing personal. She just hates you. Hello, darkness, my old friend. LDTV said, Days, how do you feel about the Chaos versus Street Jesus fight being made for UFC 272? I am hyped. To be honest, I don't really allow myself to get hyped. It's going to be great if it comes off, but there's just so many fights that just don't make it. I really do not really focus or get too excited about anything until we get to it. Until we get to the week of it. And even then, the flipping fights drop like flies. So hopefully it comes off. Hopefully we get it. If we do, it'll be a banger. It'll be very, very exciting. But honestly, I'm not allowing myself to really focus on any fights that are coming up unless they're happening this week. I'm probably allowing myself to get excited for Ngannou and Gane because that's not this weekend, the weekend after. And Moreno and Figueiredo. But nothing beyond that. I made the mistake of getting excited for that Thug Rose grappling thing, and then that never happened. Volkanovski, I love Holloway. I'm a big Holloway fan. Apparently that's not happening now. It just sucks, doesn't it? It just sucks. Taylor Hendrick follows my normal, not Master Chief Twitter and YouTube. Mr. Gonzalez09 said, please let this match be over. Days, what do you think Rhea Ripley's WrestleMania plans could be? She gets thrown into the Women's Battle Royal. Maybe, actually. Or goes into a feud with Nikki ASH now, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe the Women's Battle Royal. I could see the Bellas taking on the Women's Tag Champs at WrestleMania. I could see that. I don't think Rhea's going to be in a title match. So probably Battle Royal is probably the best thing she could hope for. Unless they give her a really good red-hot feud. Okay. I think the Acclaimed have won. Well done to them. It seems very quiet. The crowd seem very quiet. Oh my God, the lights have gone off. It's Sting. It's still cool, isn't it, when Sting walks out? It's still cool. I sort of like Sting coming out on his own. I mean, it's great that he's with Darby and everything, but it's sort of cool just seeing Sting walk out on his own. There's Darby. Oh. So I'm guessing we're going to get Sting and Darby against the Acclaimed. Darby running over. I love how he throws it in, man. I love how Darby throws his stuff in. This is why I love Hook so much. No half measures. I bet it's moody, though. I can't see any way that Darby is, like, running at people at the pace he does. Doing the suicide dives that he does. Charging at people as he does, and him not really connecting, you know? I reckon it is quite moody to be in a match with Darby Allin. I bet you do flip him feel it. Says, another match no one asked for. Andrade is feuding with Darby. This makes no sense. Right, so, Pac. Yeah, what are they doing with Pac? He's got his eyes covered by bandages. They do. This is a great vignette. The Pac's always had great vignettes. Love the music. I do just wish, and I've said it before and I will always say it, they show an amazing vignette like that and he'll say something really poignant and it cuts in too quick. Like, they need to just let it linger for a couple of beats. I don't know why they do that. Why can't they just let it linger? Why can't he just say the line at the end of the vignette? Just let it linger. And then go back. Like, instead, he'll say, like, I'm coming for you. And then it goes into, like, straight away it goes into the flipping Dynamite signature. Like, it always cuts so quick off the promo. Like, you're watching it, you're like, wow. And then straight away you're out of it. Because as soon as he says his line, quick, we've got to get the AEW Dynamite logo in there. We've got to get back to the show. I just wish they'd let it just flipping linger. That was so good. I found myself watching it going, oh my God, this is so good and gripping. And I was like, ah. Oh. And just as he delivers that last line, AEW Dynamite. Right, next week, guys, we've got this. Oh my God, just let it breathe, man. Let it breathe. Good though. There's some good stuff on this week's show. I have been, with 18 minutes to go, I've been entertained. The crowd woke up when they showed a picture of Cody with the crowd like asleep, and then like they saw, like, they heard Cody's name and immediately they went, boo! But is he here? Boo! Where is he? Is Brandy here? Get the mace! I love the hatred for them. I live for the hatred for them. Amazing. Why have Sammy be interim champ if Cody was only away for 2 weeks? Because, lol. Nah, I mean, it's so that for that Battle of the Belts, you could still have 3 championship matches. It was probably for that. There was a couple of boring matches. Oh, yeah, the show wasn't perfect. The show's not been by no means. But it's been solid. I'll say it's been solid. The CM Punk Wardlow thing was rubbish. I like the opening. I like the challenge of the mixed tag match. I like the fact we're a bit closer to Wardlow turning. So I like those things. But yeah, I do agree. A few of the matches have been like... Speaking of Mace, what happened to that guy? I don't know. I haven't seen Dio Madden in a while. I don't think he got released, did he? So I don't know what he's doing. I hope he's happy. Bit of a dead crowd. They need to limit how many times Penta can say Sierra Mera. Oh my God, you're so right. You are so right. I feel like it just happens all the time. There's no escaping it. It's just all the time. It's as if like he's got OCD or Tourette's. And he just can't help but do Sierra Miero. Like, it must be OCD. He must have OCD. Right, here's Matt Hardy. I would like to see Days have an interview with Lorelai and Jennifer. Oh, we can definitely... yeah, that's been on my to-do list for a long time. That will happen. Here's Andrade.
You are a businessman. Andrade's really slow, isn't he? And quiet. Let's go to my office. Let's talk. All right, so Andrade and Matt Hardy are having a chat. Cool. This is for the interim TNT Championship. Right. Actually, I don't know. What is this? Oh, Danny Garcia. Against Sammy Guevara. Let's go, Daniel, says Slim Jim. Let's go, Daniel. Let's go. Wouldn't be upset to see Daniel Garcia pick up a surprise win on Sammy. Well, he said AEW needs a Royal Rumble, maybe a tag team Royal Rumble. Last man wins for the team. They can't. WWE own the rights to the Royal Rumble, so they can't do that. That's why they have the Casino Battle Royal. Sammy is for sure winning this. Daniel said Pac will join the House of Black. It seems whoever Malachi blows mist into will end up joining the House of Pac. I think he fits perfectly with Black and Brody King. Pac, Black, and King. It's the new Bed Bath & Beyond. He is the fake TNT champion. Sammy is wearing the wrong belt. Oh, I didn't see. Right, well, no messing around. The bell has sounded because we are a little tight for time. We've got just 13 minutes to go. 13 minutes to go. They own the rights to the name. MLW has a bootleg version of the Rumble. I don't believe they can actually do the Rumble. I mean, every company would surely do the Rumble if they could do the Rumble. I'm pretty sure the concept, the presentation of it belongs to WWE. So that's interesting. Instead of a Royal Rumble, have a Peasant Rumble. Are you bringing back toy hunts? There was one that came back just before Christmas, and I did have footage for a second one. Which, because of the flipping family coming round, I never got a chance to do anything with. So, yeah, I don't know if you saw it, but there was one that was just before Christmas. I've got zero interest in Hangman against Lance Archer. Sammy going over the top. Yeah, I'm not into that, to be honest. Sammy coming crashing down onto Garcia on the outside of the ring. For an AEW crowd to be worse than a WWE crowd, there's definitely something wrong. They have been quiet. I don't know why. Isn't the Casino Battle Royal basically a Royal Rumble? No. It's got enough of a change, enough of a difference whereby it's different. So, you know, it's not like they have people coming down individually. They have people coming down in suits, and they use cards. So it's like, it's time for the hearts to come down. So everyone that is a heart
they come down, but they don't come down like individually, and it's not like we count down every few minutes. And then the last one's the Joker, and they're the only one that really comes down on their own. So it's of course similar. The concept is similar, but there's enough of a difference for it to, be all above board. Backbreaker by Garcia. Austin said AEW need their own version of WrestleMania. They don't have a show that feels like a spectacle. Yeah, well, I'm sure they'll probably build into it, aren't they? I mean, they had that thing at Arthur Ashe, but that was 20. I think that's still the biggest crowd they've performed in front of. That was 20-odd thousand. But I do agree, like, whenever they do a show, it tends to be at, like, Daly's place, doesn't it? But honestly, I mean, them doing 10,000 was a big deal. Them doing 20,000 was an even bigger deal. I seriously, I don't think they're at the point where they could do 40, 50,000. I don't know. I'm just trying to think, like, what's the smallest stadium you could do? In all fairness, they do the Royal Rumble in those baseball stadiums, don't they? And I've got a feeling that I don't know what those are, but I don't think those are that big. It feels big because the way that it's shot and the way that it looks like it's just people dripping from the ceiling. But what you don't see is that flipping half of it is behind you and there's no crowd. But what you see is just this absolute sea of people, and it feels like the biggest show you've ever seen. But there's no one over this side. So they could wonder if they could do a baseball stadium. That would be good. I'm going to search for that, actually. Royal Rumble 2019. Nah, 2020. That's when Edge came back, wasn't it? 42,000 that was. Could they do 40,000? In truth, even if you had 35, I don't think you'd really notice. That was at the Minute Maid Park. I don't know. I mean, they got 20,000 at Arthur Ashe. It's a hell of a jump up to like 30, 35 in it. It's another 50-odd plus percent. So 50, 75% more. So I think that's why. Ring of Honor does a Rumble. They call it the Honor Rumble. Ronnie said, Days, it's not about the people. It's more about the presentation of the events. I understand I think I understand what Austin's saying. I feel like you need a show that feels big, and in order to do that you need a big space, and if you've got a big space then you're going to need a lot of people. So I kind of feel like I don't know if they could give you a show that could rival WrestleMania and feel as big as WrestleMania in Daly's place. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you need a bigger space. I mean, Arthur Ashe, maybe you could go back to Arthur Ashe, which is 20,000, and maybe you could find a way of putting in a big stage, pyro, really jazz it up. When they were at Arthur Ashe, I think they just had one of those tunnels, which doesn't really feel big time. Like, I kind of feel like if you had a big stage like WrestleMania 20, and like the New York skyline and a big stage, like maybe you could do that, and that would also cut down the number of people you need. Like, maybe you could go down that road. And Arthur Ashe, we already know they can do 20,000, so they should be able to do that again. Yeah, I agree. I do agree with Austin. I think they could really do with a big show like that. I mean, they don't even need to introduce anything new. Just do All Out or All In or whatever it's called. Do that, because that feels like, to me, that's their WrestleMania, because it goes back to All Out, the very first show. Double or Nothing feels big, because that was the first show they did as AEW. So Double or Nothing feels big, and All Out feels big as well. Or All In. God, I keep getting them mixed up. The first one was called All Out, and then the ones after have been called All In. No. The first one was All In, and the other ones are All Out. We need to get All Shake It All About. That's what we need. AEW, All Shake It All About. Summer 2022. We've got about 4 minutes to go. AEW would really have to go all out to make it work. Maybe they could even call it All Out. AEW could do a big show with a few other promotions. That's a good shout, actually. That's a good shout. Takedown by Garcia. I want to start being a sexy librarian. Okay. Brilliant. I mean, honestly, that's a video that I would take for the Wrestling Escape Pod. Garcia in control against Sammy. All side to side, yes. Primo said AEW needs more exposure to mainstream. They aren't publicly traded. Right now, it's a bit niche. Legend Killer is watching AEW Dynamite. Garcia struggling. Jericho at ringside. Kingston at ringside. 3 minutes to go. What do you call a cow that won't give milk? A milk dud. M. Kern said WrestleMania just has a crowd now on its history, not because of the talent. AEW has a fantastic chance to pull it off. Daniel said, after Ash, there was a few changes. The ramp that had the ramp as an LED screen with their Titantrons on it. That is true, actually. I forgot about that, but I still think go with the stage. Go make it feel bigger. We're going to stay with this match up till the 20-minute time limit, or as long as it takes. JR says, let's settle it. So is there going to be an overrun? Sammy. Oh, Garcia catches Sammy. Garcia catches Sammy. Sammy he's on his knees, trying to get to his feet. Sammy getting back to his feet. Oh, pile driver. 1, 2. Shoulder up. Shoulder up. Do you think if WWE put on top quality show that would satisfy fans, boost ratings? Because AEW does that and there's not much results. Well, it's different though, isn't it? It's different. I mean, AEW are a bit limited by the network they're on and the fact that they've only been around since 2019, whereas WWE have been around, obviously, you know, a hell of a lot longer and are on much bigger networks. I mean, it's hard to know really what AEW's potential... It's hard to know what WWE's potential audience is. Like, how big could their audience be? I kind of feel like AEW keeps maxing out at about 1.3, 1.4. But, I mean, what could SmackDown do if you stacked it? If you did a Super SmackDown that had loads of championship matches, Roman, Brock, like just absolutely stacked it, What would you get? What would the number be? I don't know. I think that the ratings are quite steady. I think they're at like 2.2, 2.3 for SmackDown, 1.6 to 1.8 for Raw, and seemingly they're quite happy with that. Sammy Guevara has won. 2.0 of beating up Jericho. Now they're beating up Sammy. Sammy. Garcia should have won. Yeah, I must admit, this ending just didn't really grab me. Right, we've got Kingston and Jericho in the ring. Bit of pushing and shoving. 7.5 is my final. Right, well, the show is done. That is AEW for this week. There we go. AEW. What did you think of AEW Dynamite? Have a look, see what people thought. 8 to 10. 7 to 7.5. 6 to 6.75. 5.75 or below. Right, we'll have a look, see what people thought of the show. See if people enjoyed it. Didn't enjoy it, thought it was average. I mean, I thought it started well. I do think there's quite a few matches, main event as well, unfortunately, for me, that kind of were just there. I mean, yeah, I really enjoyed Serena Deeb, though. I think a large part of my appreciation of this week's episode comes from Serena Deeb beating Hikaru Shida. So, I certainly enjoyed that. I liked the start, as I said, with Adam Cole, Britt Baker, that being a mixed tag match and like them acknowledging them two on camera as being in a relationship. I really enjoyed that. And then there's just bits really throughout the show that just kind of kept the show entertaining. But I do think a lot of the matches just really underwhelmed a little bit for me. But I mean, it was alright. It was solid. It was fine. Let's boo Cody on Go Big Show, says Master Chief. Austin says 7. I didn't like the main event, but Brody King was great. That's true. Opener was great, especially Britt Baker being there. Storms Elite says 6. Nezpin says 6. 8.14 signed Serena Deeb photos out of 10. Oh, yeah. We discovered that as well, didn't we? That's amazing. $30 for that. I had no idea they were doing signed pictures. I don't know how long they've been doing them for. But official signed Serena Deeb AEW photo, $30. Can't argue at that, can you really? Can't argue at that. Out of interest, do they do a Thunder Rosa one? Just wondered. Thunder Rosa. I know there's a lot of Thunder Rosa fans in our community. No. Although they do have a really great Thunder Rosa. A few great Thunder Rosa shirts. So you can get some really cool Thunder Rosa shirts, but no, only selected superstar. Can you get a signed Hook? Imagine if you could get signed Hook 8x10. That's the one everyone wants. A signed Hook 8x10. Oh, come on. If AEW want to make money, they definitely would do that. No. They've literally just got 3 Hook items. A shirt that says Hook. A beanie hat that says Hook. Or a shirt that says Hook with the word send just above. Send Hook. Seems like only very special selected people get these signed 8x10s. Tony Khan should do one, shouldn't he? Tony Khan should do a signed 8x10. People would get that. I got a signed Thunder Rosa shirt, says William. AEW should have signed Davey Boy Smith Jr. Not enough hours in the day for Hook to sign enough 8x10s. That's true. And also, Hook doesn't mess around. Like, he lays in his punches and those beautiful suplexes. Like, when he signs stuff, I should imagine he's like... Like, literally, after signing a few of them, the pens would all be absolutely trashed. Right, oh my God, there's flipping loads. I just searched autographed, right? This is what you can get. I'll read them out. So, you can get Leva Bates, she used to be the librarian. Santana and Ortiz, Pac, Nyla Rose, Private Party, 10, Luther, TH2, The Acclaimed, Christian Cage, Big Swole. Not even lying. You can still buy signed Big Swole autographs on AEW shop. I'm surprised they don't say Tony Khan is a beep. Red Velvet, Top Flight, Hangman Adam Page, the current flipping champion, $50 for him. Ali, a.k.a. The Bunny, Ricky Starks, Darby Allin, Colt Cabana, Scorpio Sky, The Gun Club, Diamante. Is she still with him? Diamante. Where the hell is she? Is she still with him? Diamante, anyway. Serena Deeb, Jurassic Express with Marco Stunt. Dustin Rhodes, Sean Spears, Mark Henry, Eddie Kingston, Sonny Kiss, Orange Cassidy, Ethan Page, Tony Schiavone, Penta, Fuego del Sol, Vicky Guerrero, autograph Scorpio Sky, figure, $100. Powerhouse Hobbs, Wardlow, autographed Darby Allin figure, $750. I'm not even lying. $750 for a signed Darby. I mean, it is one of 500. So it is limited edition and it is signed. But $750. Joey Janela, Andrade, Jake Hager, Frankie Kazarian, Blade and Butcher, Peter Avalon, Lance Archer, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, Hikaru Shida, and the Hikaru Shida picture is awesome. Lee Johnson, Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford, and Sean Dean. That is it. But that is a lot. Those are all of the different autographed personnel you can get on AEW Shop. I didn't even know they did them, to be honest. Wasn't there a problem between her and Rosa? Was it Diamante or was it someone different? Because there was Diamante and there was another one because they were in a tag team, and it might have been the other one that was the issue. I can't remember her name. Right, we've got 150 votes. Let's go and end the poll. I think I'm going to say this was I was pretty entertained. Was it better than Dynamite? What did I give NXT? I think I gave it 6.75. That had AJ Styles on. Had AJ Styles. I think it's about the same. I think it's about the same. Yeah. I mean, I was entertained throughout. Average is about a 6.5. I was pretty entertained throughout. I love the Britt Baker thing. I love the Serena Deeb thing. But then a lot of the matches just really kind of underwhelmed for me. I think if we'd had like maybe a Bryan Danielson match, maybe if one of them had been Hook. Like, I know you can't use Hook all the time. I'm just saying that, you know, how could you have made it better? Maybe if there'd been a Britt Baker match, maybe if there'd been a Hook match, maybe if there'd been a Bryan Danielson match, maybe if we'd seen, I don't know, you know, an interesting feud, something that would, I mean, like Acclaim versus Bear Country, Penta versus Matt Hardy. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, these matches just aren't really grabbing me, to be honest. So I think that for me is where it was a bit. 675 was my original score, said Austin. I did see that, Austin. Yeah, I did see that. Hayden said 675 is all right for me. Ravi said, I thought AEW wasn't too bad. I agree. Evilise. Yes, Evilise. Was she the problematic one? She might have been. You can't overexpose Hook. You got to keep him special. I do agree with that. You do have to keep him special. I just think, like, how would you make some of these matches a bit better? I mean, I suppose you could book them better. But it was all right. I was entertained. I mean, there's been episodes of Dynamite and probably more Raw where I've sat there like, how long's left? Like, I never felt like that at all tonight. So, really solid show. Some really nice moments kind of dotted throughout. Yeah, good. I mean, honestly, if I was going to move my score, I'd only go up instead of down. So, yeah, it's good. Right, we're done. Awesome. Hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed watching the show with us and sharing your thoughts. I am not around tomorrow. I've got to go for a meal. I mean, in all fairness, we don't do anything on a Thursday anyway. Well, I do. I do research for UFC, but so we're not around tomorrow. But we are back on Friday for we've got some on football days. We've got a Premier League game. If you do play that Fantasy Premier League on the football channel, you need it done by Friday. Do not get caught out. You have been warned. So Friday, we've got that, and then we've got SmackDown and Rampage. Obviously, we've got UFC this weekend as well. There's games over the weekend on football days, so plenty of things coming up. So awesome. Have a great rest of your evenings wherever you are. Have a great day tomorrow, doing whatever you're doing, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Awesome, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.